how's as the quarterback run, the quarterback option has become more prevalent the last decade or so. How has the defensive adjustments to that, advanced and evolved in that same time period?
Yeah, I mean, obviously been going on for a while. I think we were talking about it this week. I think it was maybe 2006 that I think we started seeing it in the NFL with some of the stuff. It had been in college a little bit earlier than that, but we started seeing some bleed over. And what it does is just an extra guy to account for. A lot of times an eight-man front, you got eight, they got seven, and you should be in pretty good position against the run. When you have to factor in the quarterback, then it's a different story. But that being said, you always had to account for some quarterbacks going back to Fran Tarkenton and, Eddie LeBaron and those guys way back in the day. You had to account for them on scrambles. So that was an extra layer. And really using the quarterback as a run, it was under center, but the Mike Shanahan, Alex Gibbs stretch run game with those dudes, running those boots at full speed. Whether it was Jake Plummer or Michael Vick, put a lot of pressure on the defense, and that was a guy that broke a lot of that was a scheme that broke a lot of your roles. Used to be, defensive ends would climb to the depth of the quarterback, but then they kill you on the cutback run if you did that. So you started closing. Well, then it made you more susceptible to the boot. So just like anything, there's a lot of things that sort of come in trend and out of trend. But I would say this: it forces you, and not just the quarterback run, but the RPO. It's a run, but it's also a pass. So it just forces defenses to have to defend 53 and a third yards, the width of the field, in addition to all the run gaps also.
Alex Wright posts that he's going to have tricep surgery and is out for the year. So just how unfortunate to lose him this early, and how have you seen him grow these last couple of years?
Yeah, I'll sort of defer to Kevin on talking about injuries and things like that. So I don't want to comment on that. I will comment on the guys that we do have. It's just opportunity for other guys to step up, particularly a guy like Isaiah McGuire, who has played some really good snaps in a limited role, and be able to get to see that role possibly expanded and give some more opportunities for some guys. Some veteran players like Za'Darius and Alex Obo, they got to give us good pressure, and they got to be able to help make up for those things. Be a physical presence, be a guy that rushes the passer well. We expect that from all our guys, and the guys that'll be out there, it gives them great opportunity. Isaiah, Sam Kamara, in their roles, they played really well when it comes to like grading out. I think one was like 17 of 18, the other one was like 11 of 12 or 12 of 13, or it was something like that. So it gives them a chance to expand those roles and get more production with more playing time.
What did you think the issues with the run defense were against the Raiders? Miles mentioned maybe they were attacking the edges and going after the back end a little bit.
Yeah, everybody wants to attack our edges. I thought probably the biggest things in the game, we got a thing that I try to guard against. We got way too antsy when we had them backed up at the end of the first half. And instead of doing our job, we were trying to make a safety. And when we did that, we jumped out of a gap and we got gashed in the run game, and we let them off the hook. So there was that. There was a couple times interior gaps either got blocked or got vacated. I think when it was all said and done, that was probably a little bit more. And then the third down run, the 3rd and 10 run, which put them in position to score a touchdown. And you look back on that game, I think there were like 3 really critical plays. We had a 3rd down, had a really good rush and coverage, and hit the quarterback, and we're off the field, probably forcing a punt, and we hit the quarterback in the head, which is the second time in the last couple of weeks we do, and it gives them 15 yards, keeps the drive alive, and they get a field goal off of that. So we're talking 3 points there. And then we have a 3rd and 10 where they're already in field goal range, but it's a fairly long field goal, whatever, it's in the 40s, whatever it is. And they run the ball just to sort of solidify the field goal, and we miss 3 tackles, give up a first down, and they get a touchdown. So that's basically a 4-point play there. So there's 7 points in the game. And then you combine that with getting squirrely on the backed up, where we couldn't resist the urge to try to do too much, and we tried to get a safety instead of playing good team defense, forcing a punt, and now maybe the offense has whatever it would have been, 20 seconds left or whatever, ball around midfield to try to kick a long field goal. So when it was all said and done, I really think the game came down to those 3, and there were critical mistakes by us, and it cost us the game.
Be like 2 quarters of sloppy tackling. I mean, you corrected it, but those 2 quarters were very destructive to that game.
Yeah, I'd say, Tony, it's probably more than just sloppy tackling. We have generally been a couple series of sloppy play, and we shouldn't have to get kicked in the teeth to start playing, because when we do start playing, the last 2.5 quarters against Dallas, ridiculously. I mean, but you can't erase those series before that. Giants, fumble, punt, miss field goal, like really good stuff. And same thing with this, like getting the ball back for our offense, scoring on defense. But that gets erased by those sloppy play, and until we get that consistency, we're going to play like a 1-3 football team, and we're playing like a 1-3 defense right now.
That every year is different. You got to come starting from square one. But what's maybe one thing that you really liked about last year that hasn't necessarily transferred or carried over to this season?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'd probably just try to concentrate more on this year and what we are. And I think Tony probably sounded like you guys were in the meeting this week when it came to run defense and consistency of play. I mean, you guys are seeing the same thing that we're seeing. Our guys need to respond to that. And, a good football team is defined by how well they tackle. And we've been inconsistent in that area. We've had opportunities to either create some 3rd and longs, get off the field on some 3rd downs, and we've failed on those in those situations. And those are things that we have to address as we go, and not just address, but we have to correct, and we have to respond the right way and play better.
It's like Isaiah McGuire is starting to establish himself and is maybe a big hitter. I mean, the forced fumble was a nice play by him.
Yeah. During the game, I thought that was Jeremiah. Because Jeremiah came in and made the hit, and my eyes went to saw that and saw the ball out, and it wasn't until I saw the replay afterwards. We were getting ready for the next series, but it was like, I don't know if Jeremiah made that. But Jeremiah made a great play. Isaiah made a really good play. Rodney McLeod made a really good play. You see Rodney pick the ball up, but his ability to set the edge on that, it was a blitz off the edge, and he was the blitzer, and he got the offensive tackle. And he was able to stymie that, which allowed those other guys to make it. Sorry, I preempted your question.
No, it just looks like Isaiah seems poised to kind of step up into maybe this bigger opportunity he's probably going to get.
Well, yeah, check. We need him to. We need all hands on deck. We need everybody to play well, and the greatest reward is the opportunity to do more. And I think he's earned that. He's played physical football for us. He's been slippery in his pass rush. And he'll get more opportunities.
Follow up what you were saying about the tackling. Like, what do you think has led to maybe some of that inconsistency so far?
Yeah, I mean, all of them are a little bit different. I mean, I think in general we need to take one extra step and not go off the diving board, so to speak. Like a little too much ankle grabbing and stuff like that. Generally, your correction is one more step. You tackle with your feet as much as anything. A lot of people talk about tackling and wrapping up and shoulders and things like that. You tackle with your feet. You put your feet on the ball carrier, and we need to take one more step. There's been a couple where it's just been leverage problem and balls cut back on us. But those have probably been the biggest things. And I think this came up last year too. When you play good team defense and you run to the ball and you play with great effort, a lot of those missed tackles disappear. you still have him, but the second guy goes and cleans it up. And that's what we really need to put the emphasis on. It's a little bit of technique, it's a little bit of leverage, but, we want to also see better team response to it, I guess. I don't know the best way to put it, but, there's a couple different ways we can address it. And if you're flying around and the next guy's coming in, nobody notices that a guy missed a tackle because the next guy's there to clean it up for 1 yard. I think we gave up I want to say 67, I can't remember, but 67 yards after first contact in this last game. And that's not playing physical football.
Jim, when you look at the Commanders' offense with Jaden Daniels and their threats in the run and pass game, what stands out to you as areas you guys are focusing on?
I missed that last part of it.
Like what areas in the run and pass game with Jaden Daniels as well that you guys are focusing on as a defense?
Yeah, I mean, he just has really good command. I mean, they punted 4 times in 4 games? 2 games haven't punted. I mean, that'll get your attention really quickly. He's been very efficient with the ball. He really understands the RPO zone read world. It's not, something he's done, played a lot of college football in a very similar situation. So you see that comes up, and his legs, make a difference. We're going to do third down today. And, he's converted, somewhere in the neighborhood of 40% of their third downs on scrambles. So it just adds a little bit more, and he hasn't made mistakes with the football. He's playing really well for a rookie. We got to play tight coverage. We got to be in our gaps, and we have to tackle well on the perimeter, and they'll challenge all of those things.
Place on forcing takeaways, or is your priority just sound defense, getting off the field, and maybe that coming as a result of that?
Yeah, we've talked about that ad nauseum in the past. I think that anytime you start pressing to try to make plays, you can end up hurting yourself, and I'll reference that backed up play. We got a safety against Jacksonville, and it was good defense. This was let me go make a play here, and then try to cause a turnover. A safety's a turnover, and you can get yourself in trouble if you play physical, relentless, sound football. Your turnovers will come. And you don't make every opportunity, but over the course of time, they will. If you don't play consistent responsibility football, and you don't play physical, and you don't play tenacious, you won't get those. You won't get those plays. I was proud of the guys getting that fumble. It got us back in the game. We were able to get the ball back a couple of times. I really felt like we were going to win that game on that last drive. But sometimes you do have to guard against more or guys trying to do too much. Let's play better within our scheme. Let's not try to go outside the scheme just to sometimes get some fool's gold when it comes to those plays.
Earlier that it shouldn't take a kick in the teeth for you guys to lock in that focus. Why do you think it has taken these wake up calls to get going?
Yeah, I don't know.
Daniels has gone to Cincinnati and Arizona, outplayed Burrow and Murray. It's not like their defense and special teams won those games, so I'm impressed that a rookie could go on the road and beat 2 number 1 quarterbacks at their own game.
Yeah, he's in a scheme that fits him really well. He understands, uses all 53 in the third. He can make plays with his leg. He's been a very accurate passer. He puts pressure on you on third down with the passing, but also the running and the scrambling. So all those things equal good play, and it gets our guys' attention. We twice a year we play Lamar Jackson, who has some very similar capabilities. So we know what it takes to stop that thing. We know how bad you can look if you let your guard down for 1 minute with guys like that. And it won't be any surprise for us when number 5's out there. Okay? Yeah.